Hello friends, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about covariant return types. So covariant return types is an important concept in object-oriented programming. So let us discuss about that. So covariant return type in Java. So covariant return type is a feature by which we can override the methods based on their return type. Prior to Java 5, there was no functionality. After Java 5, this functionality was added to Java, by which the covariant relationship can be maintained. So let us see discuss more about covariant return type. So here can we already seen overriding in Java. So when we have the same return type, then the overriding is working fine. So when there is another way of overriding using the covariant return type, which means that if you override a class with a subclass whose return type is a subtype of the particular parent class return type, so that time covariant return will work. So this is a functionality which is difficult to explain theoretically. So when we see the practical for this program, you will understand it thoroughly, and let us see the advantages of using this kind of covariant return types. So the first advantage is we can avoid class cast exceptions. So if the particular method is returning you the subclass or the covariant objects, so that returned object will be automatically casted correctly. So we don't need to take care of the casting process, which may lead to class cast exceptions. So that is avoided in this way of the covariant return types, and this will make our code much more readable and understandable, so people can understand our code much more easily. And uh, that is it for this practical session. Now let us see some programs based on covariant return type. Now let us discuss a program on covariant return type in Java. So in this example, we are going to have a relationship between father and grandfather class. So father will extend the grandfather class as in the real world, how it is a relationship like that only. And here in the grandfather class, we start with the grandfather class. So in the grandfather class, I have a method which is returning the grandfather object type of object. Get object method is there. Here I am returning this. This means current reference of the particular object is getting and returned. So this is a implementation of the method. Now let us see the father class. Here you can see the father class. Here I am overriding the get object method, and I am writing the implementation of the particular method, and in that method I am returning this reference, which means the father's object will be returned. So that's how the implementation. Here I am overriding it with the covariant return type. So the return types you can see here, the return type of the method is father object. Here you can see the return type is father, and previous return type was grandfather. So that's how the covariant return type is there. Now let us see the main method of this program. So here you can see the main method. In this main method, I am creating the objects for the particular class, and I'm invoking the get object method, and printing the particular. In the get object method, I have put the system.out.println messages to print the particular corresponding which object is getting returned. So this is how covariant return is there. It is return type is there. Now let us run this program to see the output, how the which objects are getting printed. Here according to this code, the when we invoke father objects get object method, the father object should be returned back, and the message should be printed correspondingly. And for grandfather object also, the corresponding message should be printed. And finally I have a dynamic method dispatch like feature, in which I am taking the superclass object reference and calling the creating the subclass object. So like that also put one condition. Now let us see the output. So here you can see father object is getting printed. After that, for grandfather objects are getting printed. So by using this, we don't need to do any class casting. Everything is maintained while doing the overriding. So covariant return types is a cool feature in Java which allows us to have return types to have that covariant relationship. So we can have override methods using their return types. And then thank you for watching this lecture. Please continue watching the series.